Welcome to the great outdoors. I'm out here enjoying the beautiful changing autumn leaf colors. They're beautiful. Look at them. They used to be green. Now they're reds and oranges and yellow. Let's go into the forest and read a book. Come on, let's go into the forest together. Let's go. Here we are in our nice little reading area in the forest. Well, it's time for us to read our story called Leaf Trouble. And it's a perfect story for now because it's autumn time and the leaves are changing color and they're falling from the trees. So why not read a book all about leaf trouble? Here we go. Leaf Trouble is written by Jonathan Emmett and it was illustrated by Caroline Jayne Church. All right, let's go. A fresh breeze blew across the woodland, tickling the tall grass and trembling the trees. Summer had left and autumn had arrived. Pip Squirrel stuck his head out of the nest and sniffed the air. Something's changed, he decided, and he scampered off to find out what it was. Pip's nest was in an old oak tree. Pip loved the old tree and he knew every bit of it from twig to trunk. But something was happening to the tree. It was happening so slowly that Pip hadn't noticed it until now. He skittered to a stop and stared at the leaves beside him. He was so surprised that he let go of the trunk. Wah! Squealed Pip as he tumbled down through the branches and landed oof on the woodland floor. Pip lay there for a moment, staring up at the leaves. Ah, they've changed color, he gasped. And he was right. The last time Pip had looked closely at the leaves, they had all been green. But now, there were lots of colors. Yellow and orange and even red. As Pip watched one of the leaves drop off and drifted down toward the ground, he jumped up and ran after it and caught it in his paws. But even as he reached it, another leaf began to fall. Pip ran after the second leaf and just managed to catch it before it touched the woodland floor. Not again, gasped Pip as the third leaf began to fall. Pip was still racing around trying to catch the falling leaves when his sister Blossom scurried up. Good, panted Pip. You're just in time. Just in time for what? Asked Blossom. To help save the tree, puffed Pip. It's falling to pieces. But that's been happening for days, said Blossom, pointing to the leaf-covered ground. Then we've got to stop it now, insisted Pip. Pip and Blossom collected all the fallen leaves into a big pile. Now what? Asked Blossom. We put them back, said Pip. So Blossom carried the leaves up into the tree, where Pip tried to stick them back onto the branches, but it didn't work very well. Then, all of a sudden, there was a huge gust of wind and hundreds of leaves began to fall. Pip and Blossom were scrambling around frantically, trying to gather them when Mom Squirrel arrived. What are you two up to? She asked. When Mom found out what Pip and Blossom had been doing, she couldn't help smiling. But Pip, she said, the tree has to lose its leaves. And she explained that taking care of the leaves was hard work for the tree, and then after keeping them all summer, it needed to rest for a while. But I love this tree, said Pip sadly. It's our home, and I want it back the way it was. It will be, said Mom. When spring comes, the leaves will all come back again. They've only gone away for a while. Like when the sun sets and then comes back again, said Pip. Like when the sun sets, agreed Mom. Except the leaves will just take a little longer to come back. Pip, Blossom, and Mom played beneath the old oak tree until sunset. Before they left, they collected some leaves to take back to their nest. "There are such beautiful colors," said Pip, smiling. "And now I understand why." He held up a paw full of leaves to show Blossom and Mom. "They're the colors of the sunset," said Pip. The end. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's book, all about leaf trouble. But let's be like Pip, and let's collect some leaves. And maybe we can turn those leaves into something fantastic. All right? Let's do some scavenging and find some leaves of our own. So before we go and pick up our leaves and gather them, we do need some extra materials. So for our special craft today, we're going to be using goldenrods. So goldenrods are a wild flower that grows in Ontario, Canada, and probably in other parts too. When goldenrods, when they flower, they look really, really yellow and they're beautiful. That's why they're called goldenrods. But now the flowers have dried up and the stalk is left, this long, nice stem. We're actually going to use it. We're going to use 2 of them. So I'm going to take my scissors that I have here, and I'm going to give it a nice cut. All right, there's one of them. I'm going to make sure that the measurement is about the same. So I'm going to find another one that's approximately the same height. I'm going to measure it down, and again, I'm going to give it a good snip. All right, here are my 2 goldenrods. I bet you're wondering what we're going to use these for. Well, stay tuned and you're going to see exactly what I'm going to turn these goldenrods into. So along with our goldenrods, we're also going to add some wild grapevines that also grow in Ontario, Canada. As you can see, we have our grapes growing. Isn't that cool? They're wild Ontario grapes. But we don't want the grapes right now. We just want the vine. And you're going to see what we're going to use it for a little later on, okay? So I've got my trusty scissors and I'm going to snip a good long piece. All right, we're back from the forest. But you know, the best place to gather leaves sometimes is just on your front lawn. We've got lots of leaves. I'm going to gather all the different colors and try to see if I can get as many colors as Pip did. The reds and the oranges and the yellows. All right, let's gather our leaves and see what amazing things we can make with them. Here's a nice orange one, and a nice orange one. Here's a really nice, red one. Here's another really nice orange one. Oh, this is a beautiful one too. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? That's beautiful. And you have a nice, really big one. So we'll need a mix of nice big ones and little ones and all the different kinds that you can get. But you see these broken ones. Let's try to stay away from some of these broken ones. We really don't want the broken type of ones. So I collected all of my wonderful leaves and I put them in this nice bowl. Well, the wind is picking up and my leaves are flying away. So I'm going to take it inside. Hey guys, so we're back inside, nice and safe, away from all of the crazy wind that was going on out there. We don't want to lose our leaves. We work so hard to collect them and we want to do amazing things. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing 2 different projects. But I'll have to call this video up to be continued because it's getting really late and I don't think I'll have enough time to finish both crafts and make them absolutely amazing. So we'll start first thing tomorrow morning. Sounds good? I'll show you exactly what we're going to use our goldenrods for, our grapevine for, and our amazing collection of sunset maple leaves. Alright, so until tomorrow, salam, and may the peace be with you all. Bye!